Hello and welcome back to the Blaze of Glory that is the last stand of the Abysians. Let's see what awaits us on this turn. As you can see, our research is still plugging along. However, we're having to mobilize quite a bit of our mage core, so there's not going to be too much research more to go. We also have our god casting Project Self, and having a magic phase battle here. If you remember last time, I have him doing Animate Dead, followed by just a few evocations. Here he is, doing Summon Earth Power. As you can see, he's 1 hit point ethereal. This is just the Project Self chassis that it gives you. On the side, it's about what we were expecting, just a bunch of PD. Now you might notice he's preparing to cast Gifts from Heaven. In that script slot, we were supposed to have Animate Dead, but there were just no dead bodies in this province for him to animate. So instead, he casts Gifts of Heaven, still a good spell, at least whenever it doesn't all miss. And here he is going into the Ephemeral Blast, killing a few of these guys on their march upward, and then off script, he does Horde of Skeletons. Exactly what we would want, just something to really tie up this PD while we continue to blast him with evocations. And that's exactly what he does. He actually casts Slumber here, which is a pretty good spell. Massive AoE, just gonna put all of these PD to sleep while these skeletons kill him. It's a pretty done fight here. It was actually just a little bit risky. You see these archers here. Although Ethereal is very good against mundane weapons, there's still a 25% chance that if any time they hit this guy, he has 1 hit point, 3 protection, he's gonna die. So it was actually just a little bit more risky than it actually looked like. So let's just keep going. We have some site searching, a little bit of blood hunting, and then we have a couple of assassination battles. First up, we actually caught this Jade Sorceress here. On our side, we have a beast of an assassin here. He's got the lifelong protection with some acorns, so he's going to have just a whole bunch of Pokemon fighting for him. And while they're doing that, he's going to be in the back spamming Fireball with his Wand of Wildfire. And then we actually got a pretty juicy target here. The Jade Sorceress, just by itself is a pretty good target, but it's full of nature gems and even has a Thistle Mace. And we'll see exactly what it does here. It's actually a pretty hard thing to assassinate against, as it just right off the bat casts Swarm. We also have to deal with a few of these peasants, sort of distracting both our Demon Bread and a few of our imps. And, having this many bugs is just really hard to assassinate against. But if there's a guy who could do it, it's somebody who can cast Fireball. As you'll see, he's about to cast it here. It goes in. Massive AoE. Our imps here are immune to it. It's just eating these bugs alive every time he casts it. And then along with that, we've got Tangle Finds. Just a lot of really cool spells that this Jade Sorceress can cast, which would make it really hard to assassinate against. Yeah, that's just a beautiful fireball there. He's actually gotten about 30 kills in this fight, and there we go, that's a win for us. And you'll even see at the end of the fight, the victim carried something interesting, a Thistle Mace. So we've got a free Thistle Mace out of that assassination. Next up, we attack one of their commanders here with an assassin. This assassin here is a pretty good kit. It's a very high defense 25. He's got a main Gosh of Parrying, an Ice Scimitar, which this will just cause a cold cloud wherever it hits, along with just a few defense items, a Twist Fate Rabbitfoot Charm, so that even if he gets past all of that defense, at least 1 hit, it's not going to matter because it's going to Twist Fate. And then again, just a nice little Pokeball item just to distract people. He's also got a heroic ability called Battle Bellow. So he's got Fear 12 because he's been in the Hall of Fame so long. It's just a very good assassin for this, because even if you don't kill him, you're probably going to scare him away with that Battle Bellow, which is exactly what happens here. And that was just let's watch that one again. He landed exactly where you would want to land. In Dominions, there is a targeting priority whenever the units attack each other, and they're going to target that first square right in front of them. After that, they're going to target behind them and the sides, and then last they'll target the diagonals. So this commander here, targeting all of our Vine Men, which are 17 HP, they're pierce resistant, so it's going to take a few hits before they kill all 3 of them. And him just right in the corner here where they're never going to be targeted while he just wails away with his Ice Scimitar, with his Fear Aura, with his main Gosh. Just a very clean battle there. And then we have one more assassin targeting another commander of theirs. The commander is actually asleep. And we've got a pretty standard kit here. The main Gosh, the Lightning Spear Pokeball item. The Lightning Spear is really good because it has this armor-negating 8 shock damage, which is very good for these high protection troops. So he's just going to rush in, and there we go. Knock him out with a bunch of lightning damage, and then all of our Vine Men and our Demon Bread are just going to come over here and kill the commander. Again, a very clean fight. Really exactly what you would want to see. And now we're getting to the real fights of the round here. We've got them raiding in, we've got them freeing up the fort that we were sieging. We just had a scout on top set to retreat, and we got the scout back whenever we retreated. After that, we have a battle over in the Tower of Heavens. We're just raiding here into some PD with our burning ones. The battle in the White Peaks. We've actually got a little bit of a skirmish here. I was expecting him to move these forces literally anywhere else. But instead, we're having to fight these forces along with PD, and we're not sending too much, so it's a very close fight. We've just got 5 of our burning ones, backed up by 2 of our mages. And as you see here, they're just going to be casting Falling Fires, killing a lot of this PD as they rush in. Our burning ones are pretty much immune to the PD, but they are not immune to these very, very high damage magic weapons. Falling Fires, I don't know how they're missing that terribly. I do think it is pretty cool that in Dom 6 they've added the terrain effect where Falling Fires kind of makes the ground a little bit blackened. It's just very pretty, very thematic. And as you see, all of these giants here are rushing straight into our mages. We've got a few guard commanders, maybe enough to hold them off, and we'll see exactly what happens here. These giants close in, and these Abysians are no pushovers. They've got quite a bit of protection. They've also got Battle Fury going on them, so they've got +2 attack, +2 morale just from the off-script casting here. And you'll see as they close in, it's still not quite enough to kill all of these giants. They've even gotten in range of our mages. But off-script, as a few of our Abysians rout, off-script, our mages are actually going to cast Burning Hands. It's a really good AoE 1, really high fire damage that can just delete these giants as they get in. And there we go. We've actually routed the enemy. A few more Falling Fires just to send them on their way. Wonderful. So we killed a few of their giants here. We did take the province, and that's really all you can ask for in this type of position. We've got another battle here. This is our Demon Bread running into the province defense over here. And he is an absolute beast. Look at that. 23 defense, 17 attack, 3 high damage attacks, and he's also got heroic quickness, so he's just going to be attacking and mulching things. Right now we have him scripted to hold while a few of his Pokeballs, a few of his summons here just go in and abstract a few troops, and he will hold an attack, fly right into the back here. And there we go. Now he's landed, and you'll see he's just tearing through these guys. They barely even get 1 or 2 attacks off against him before he's attacked so many times and killed the commander and all of his archers that were back there. Now he's just jumping around, killing guys for fun. It's a very, very cool thug, very cool chassis, and a very cool ability. And that's it for all of these battles here. We have a few unexpected events. While we were blood hunting, we actually got an assassination attempt. Luckily, I do have bodyguards on all of my assassins, so they were able to survive that, on all of our blood hunters, so they were able to survive that pretty easily. More good omens, because we're lucky people. Children disappearing at night, religious misconceptions and falsehoods, and we actually patrolled out a scout here. You remember this spot here. We were so expecting a bit of a mid-sized force to attack us, and we were hoping that they would fall right into a communion here, a bunch of Abysians. But all we did instead was patrol out 1 scout from our soon-to-be-dead friend Agartha. But we'll put this scout to use. As you see, they communion up, start casting Enslaved Mind, and before this scout gets off the field, we actually enslaved him. Wonderful. That Pale One Scout has gone directly into a guard commander for some of our fleshier mages in that army. Patrolling troops, and we'll get into what we've scripted for the turn. We have quite a bit of recruitment going around. We've got a little bit of extra gold than we did last turn just with raiding, and also we're not saving up to build the palisade anymore. So we've got a good bit of recruitment. We're actually moving this stack of Lizardman Shamans right onto Hobergdorf. Now, he has not been patrolling this province. I can tell because I've had pretty low stealth scouts here, and he has enough troops here that they would patrol him out. So I don't expect him to patrol this turn either. But if he does, what he's going to be running into is a really great communion. I think there's about 8 masters and about 12 slaves. So it's going to be +3, and they're all just going to be jumping straight into Enslaved Mind. Almost all of them. The ones with pin gear, they're going straight into Enslaved Mind. We have a guy casting Power of the Spheres, and we actually had an empowered right around here somewhere. We actually have an empowered lizard man here to do Foul Vapors. Right now he's casting Quagmire. We're going to save Foul Vapors for a little bit of a larger fight, since, again, I don't expect them... I'm actually going to give him a few more water gems here. I don't expect them to be patrolling. But he's going to cast Quagmire just to make the enemy a little bit slower, a little bit, get a little bit more fatigue, and then everybody's just going to be casting Enslaved Mind. If they don't have pin gear, they're actually going to be casting Swarm first, because as you can see, the only troops I'm really bringing to this fight are Guard Commander. I just don't have enough forces to really hold up a front line, which is why I kind of need that stopgap of being able to cast Swarm on 8 Masters and just get hundreds of bugs, just to tie them up while we Enslave Mind and hopefully have that be our win condition. Once we actually get a good fight and enslave a bunch of giants, it'll be a little bit easier because we can use those giants as a front line. That being said, it's really hard as this nation to lead these giants. You'll see on their national overview here, all these Giganti, they have a minimum leader size of 6. Our largest leader is 4. Even with an enlargement item, it'll just be 5, so it's really hard to get a size 6 commander. So anywhere we enslave these guys, they'll really just be sitting in that one province as a nice little defense, but having them sit in a fort like this or on top of a fort is a pretty good use for them, even if we can't lead them anywhere else. All of these forces that were in Ghent are going to be moving down to Iron Peaks. They could move a bunch of forces over to Ghent. I was expecting them to attack this turn. They did not, so they might be trying to funnel all of their troops over here just into this throne to maybe knock us off or keep us from sieging it down. To that end, we've actually got our God magic phasing with Project Self onto the fort here. We're hoping that potentially that'll lock down the fort. That way it'll be just a little bit harder. He won't have PD. All of our forces are moving to Iron Peaks, and then they can just jump straight onto the throne next turn. We've also got all of our assassins here jumping onto this fort here. This guy, we've got them all set to retreat just in case our god actually gets bounced and he's patrolling with 200 giants. We don't want them to all just die. We'll have them retreat into the neighboring province where the rest of our army is. We've actually got one that's already there, and he's going to be going ahead and assassinating. Hopefully we can get another pretty clean fight like the other ones we've seen. We also have just a few burning ones jumping on in case our god dies from a random hit and all that's there is really just PD. So with that, we've got a big force coming over here. Come rain or shine, we're going to be jumping onto the throne next turn, and hopefully we'll have a pretty good fight over here in Hobergdorf. A few things to note, we're actually recruiting a few more troops up in this direction, and we're moving a few troops further forward. Like I said, if we can get a turnaround, we're gonna have to open up a second war front over here. Agartha is not going to hold on too much longer. We actually are in communication with them, and they're going to be jumping in to fight over here in Norville. So hopefully we'll get to see a pretty cool fight over there. Hopefully they'll have at least just a little bit of distraction for Macone. That being said, we did get a Thistle Mace. We're moving this guy back over here to one of these labs so that we can use that Thistle Mace on somebody who's actually important. These assassins are very important. You know, don't let me get you wrong. And we'll see what happens in the next turn. Thank you very much for being here with me.